Hi guys, today we're looking at the keyboard that officially propelled me into the Alps world. This is my Datacomp DFK-191. This is probably one of my favorite vintage keyboards in my collection. Probably because it's in such good condition. Although it was a little bit dirty when I got it, switches were actually decent, like 7 out of 10. Now that it's all cleaned up, it's almost perfect, like 9.5 out of 10. I mean, this thing is almost as good as it gets for a good used Alps keyboard. And this one has bamboo white Alps switches. And bamboo, as you can see, there are no slits, or in this case, you can, but they're filled in. But these feel really smooth because they're in such good condition. But yeah, this is my first official clicky Alps board. This is why I love it so much. Comparing them, I guess, sort of to black Alps, going from pine blacks to bamboo blacks, it's been noted that the feeling has changed a lot, and like the later bamboo blacks are not as nice. However, the difference between, well, I can't say this for sure yet because I don't have pine whites yet. But I've heard the difference is going from pine whites to bamboo whites, the difference is a lot smaller because these still feel really nice, and bamboo whites shouldn't really be avoided in any way. And I think the sound difference is also not as huge as with blacks as well. But if you can find them in good condition, these are still really good. And of course, they still feel really nice. This keyboard could also come in black, and also with simplified Alps. It could also come with pine white Alps, in addition to bamboo white Alps, all in clones and Alps mount SMKs, and even Datacomp switches, which I didn't think, which I wasn't expecting. Although this is a Datacomp, which does kind of make sense. The keycaps might look familiar to some people, but they are the same focus type, thin double shots with the star-shaped molding marks. And yes, I like them. They're pretty nice looking. The correct name for these is actually UKF DS03, I'm pretty sure, on the Desk Authority wiki. But yeah, they're the same focus type caps. And as you can see, this one does use big ass enter and small backspace. Although I like that it looks symmetrical. The one reason I like this is not the backspace, but because of the position of the backslash key. I actually really like it here than like right here, because I do prefer it here than here. I don't know, because like shift this just feels weird to me. I don't know. I do need to try a focus layout board with the thing here and see what I think about it. But overall, it's a pretty friendly layout, I think. It's like, especially if you like teach yourself to press the backspace on the right side, you'll learn to press it here and not mess up. And yeah. This one's branded DFI, which honestly I don't know what it is, but the badge looks cool. It is definitely built better than a focus board, though. It's actually quite nice. It doesn't flex that much. It's pretty well held together. Although it's, I don't know, a little bit mid-range, I guess, of Alps boards. Not super tanky, but not like flimsy either, so it's pretty nice. It does have these little one-unit blockers there for other switches, but it does have a nice metal mounting plate. And it feels pretty solid, so it's definitely a nice keyboard. And taking a look at the back, it has the same type of feet as on the Dell Bigfoot, which are nice. It uses a cable gutter, only two-way, not three-way. And then here's the label with the DFI logo. The year, I can identify the year for these, is the 3rd and 4th digits. First two is the month, so August of 1995, although being a pre-Windows key model is interesting, but also Bamboo Whites in 1995 was definitely towards the end of the run for complicated Alps, but it's pretty nice. Although, one warning I will say when looking at these, definitely make sure you can get a look at the back label. There are some models that will say DFK-191 and the model number sticker, but will say DFK-121 in the FCC ID. Watch out for those, because those have Futaba MA switches, which some people may or may not like. Although there are some models that do say 121 in the model number. But watch out for the models that say 191 in the model number, but then 121 in the FCC ID. But if they're both 191s, you'll get decent switches regardless. But although, you know, I would recommend getting simplified Alps, because I did see a picture of the switches in the listing for this one. I did gamble getting, you know, Bamboo Whites, complicated white Alps, or the simplified Alps, and I'm glad I got the Bamboo complicated Alps. It's actually kind of hidden on the side a little bit, but it looks like what appears to be an ATXT switch. Although for a 1995 board, that's very late and weird. You can see it's labeled 88 to 86, or maybe it's not even an XT-AT switch at all. You might be a little alarmed of the so-called plastic clips here, but don't worry, this board is very easy to take apart. It's just these 4 screws, and then you can kind of, you know, tilt up the top, and then it comes right off. It's really easy to work on this thing, actually. It's really nice. Even though this board has late, complicated white clicky Alps, I still love it. And being my first clicky Alps, complicated Alps board, I was so hooked when I got this that I started getting several more Alps boards after this, and there's no turning back for me after trying these compared to like anything Cherry MX though. I'm like, these just feel and sound so much nicer than anything I've ever used. And these are just Bamboo Whites. I have some more cool Alps things on the way, so stay tuned for those. The coil is capable with a 5-pin DIN plug, although for 1995 that is a little bit late, but works great over a PS2 converter or a source. I don't really have any issues there. Although it does appear they did make these into the 2000s with Windows keys and USB, but I haven't seen one of these. But yeah, the black ones use pad print caps, while these white ones have double shots, which that does make the keycaps on these a bit better compared to the black ones. Although I will pull up a picture, those black ones with the orange legends on the number row, and also the Locklight sticker does look pretty flashy. Alright, well, I think that's everything about this board, so thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and that'll be it.